very even. Bell's got to pick the pace up in the second half for BC. Just 3 points in Singletary.
Yeah,
and Walls didn't even score in the first half for BC.
Well, Sharif Fordham of St. Johns, who's been on Bell a lot, said Bell hasn't run into me yet. He said that in the New York papers this week. And we'll find out if Bell breaks that lock defense. They've been tough on him, though. They've afforded him very few good looks.
He can score in bunches. He always seems to. Nice D by BC again, but can't hold on.
Hey, this Anthony Glover, game after game, he just keeps digging things out, grabbing rebounds. He is a team contributor, Glover, and now we look at the Big East scoreboard with a couple of games going on. Seton Hall getting beaten badly, 25 points down to the Wildcats of Villanova. And West Virginia was behind, went ahead, and now they're behind the Miami Hurricanes in Florida. Georgetown leading Rutgers. Shot clock is off kilter here.
Yeah, I think when that ball was deflected by Boston College, they never got possession. The shot clock reset. That's a problem. You can't reset it there. Possession never went to BC.
Talking about that defense, Bell hasn't had any looks, really.
He's just taken a couple of shots in this game. He needs more looks. He's got to look for it more himself, look to create. And Ted Valentine trying to determine how many seconds should be on the clock. And I think they'll look over at Boston University, George Washington, and now St. John's.
9 seconds on the shot clock as they inbound the ball. Omar Cook with a dish, and Sharif Fordham loses it as he goes to the basket. So a turnover for St. John's, and the ball is back to Boston College.
Got to catch the ball first, then make your move. How many times do you see a player try to do something before you get it, take your eye off it, and lose it?
Good move to the basket by Agbai, and now coming away with the ball is freshman Willie Shaw. Omar Cook, his head always up, looking down court.
BC had a great look that time with Agbai. You've got to cash in on those bunnies.
Omar Cook with 8 points, including a big hit from the outside that gives the Red Storm a 6-point lead early in the second half.
Cook playing an outstanding floor game tonight for the Red Storm. We said it early, we'll say it again. When he plays well, St. John's plays well this year.
Cook with the ball, the #1 assist man in America, over 8 a game. That time too much heat on the ball to Kyle Cuff. The most underrated player in St. John's, without question, is a freshman Kyle Cuff. By the time he's done, he could be one of their really good players all time. I think he's got that much ability.
I think he's a good one. He's got to have his hands ready, though. If you're playing with a guy like Cook, you better have your hands up and ready at all times.
That was Cuff who sent the ball back. Blocked by Kyle Cuff. St. John's with 10 turnovers in the game. And Kyle Cuff getting his first personal foul. Now they're giving him his second foul. First team foul of the half on the Red Storm. None on the Eagles so far. Yuka Agbai at the free throw line. He now has 5. Agbai a 9.2 point per game scorer. But as mentioned earlier, he is averaging over the last 2 games prior to this almost 16 points a game.
Boston College, a team that's just played with more and more confidence as this year has gone along. With, I thought, a big early season victory against then-ranked UConn, #10 in the country. Beat Syracuse here at home, and they've just had a tremendous season, playing better and better as the year has gone along. Another St. John's turnover. That defense has been a constant.
It really has. Forcing 19 turnovers a game. They could force more than that tonight. As Mike Jarvis unhappy. St. John's 3 turnovers early in the second half.
Too much dribbling there by the big man Cuff. Get rid of it. Get it to your backcourt teammates. And then break up the floor. Don't try to dribble through it.
Agbai kicks out to Bell. Cook is on him. And there will be a foul call on probably on Cook. That's his second.
That's a good call. That was made, interestingly, from under the basket. It looked like the outside official was letting it go, but a lot of contact there. This has been a pretty physical game here tonight.
Yeah, it's been that. You're talking about the success of Boston College, Ron. They've recorded 2 game sweeps of 4 Big East opponents this year. this season. Providence, Villanova, Miami, and Virginia Tech. And now they're trying to break even with St. John's. St. John's looking to sweep the Eagles in the regular season in a year that Boston College has lost a total of 4 games.
BC's really been in games this year. They had a 1-point loss to Notre Dame, 2 points to St. John's. Played Duke tough for at least a half. Cameron Indoor, which is a tough place for anyone to play. In Connecticut by 11. They played everybody tough this year.
Here comes the Boston College pressure. Glover. From behind, they couldn't take it away, and now Cook looks for a gap. Omar Cook goes in. Rebound comes down. Huff can't get it to go. Cook knocks it away. And is picked up by Sharif Fordham. Down low to Glover. And Glover with a bank shot extends the Red Storm lead again to 4, 35-31. This one looks like it might go down to the final horn and maybe longer.
Well, it's a battle. That was great hustle. Yep. Tough ball to grab on that one, but St. John's very determined with Glover.
Foul call stops play. A foul on St. John's as Mike Jarvis now starts to put people in. Donald Emanuel comes in. Cuff, the freshman, getting his 3rd personal foul.
They were really tied up. Cuff and Agby on that one. You can see some of these slow starts for Boston College. The opponents have had some great runs in the second half of this, and they got to really watch out for that. Syracuse did it to them, and UConn in a game not that long ago with BC leading. So you've got to come out of that locker room with the intensity you need to have.
Troy Bell finds a gap, shoots to the basket. And a technical foul is called now by Ted Valentine because of the protest by Omar Cook. Cook thought it was an offensive player control foul, a charging. And he gave that signal, the hand behind the head. And Ted Valentine didn't like it and called a technical foul. And whole games change on those. Mike Jarvis furious out protesting.
There's the body foul by Fordham. Very tough call, close call. They say he slid under a little, and it looked like he did after Bell went airborne. Cook questions the call.
I tell you, Mike's going to get himself another one. He's right out on the court. Valentine walking away.
Not happy about it at all. And, you know, these can be momentum swings in a game. The Red Storm up by 4. Mike Jarvis, a real competitor.
German player ushering the head coach away. You don't want to lose your head coach. The foul on Sharif Fordham on the player-controlled charge was his 3rd personal foul.
Kevin Clark out there. Mike Jarvis Jr. also an assistant to Mike Jarvis, and Kevin Clark. Trying to calm him down, say, hey, you know, and he's upset. And Mike Jarvis saying, hey, you know, if I get a tee, probably you can live with that, but I don't think that one deserved it from what he could tell. He's probably also saying to Cook, don't say anything out there, just play the game.
So Omar Cook now. Technical was signaled on him, and they sent an 86% free throw shooter, Troy Bell, to the free throw line. He's only 1 field goal tonight, Troy Bell. They shut him down. He now has 6 points, 4 from the line, as we see the Red Storm in foul trouble with Cook, Fordham, and Cuff, all with 3 personal fouls.
Oh, it was a close call, Don. I mean, those calls are always tough. Was it a charge? Was it a block? Said there was some movement underneath Bell as he went airborne. And then the questioning of the call by Cook. So the 2 free throws by Bell were the result of the shooting foul.
Now the technicals. He's had the technicals. These are the shooting fouls now. But then the possession, they could come away with the lead after this.
It looks like, yeah, Ted Valentine going over to confirm that those were the tees that were shot. And now he'll shoot live.
Mike Jarvis, making sure he's got Ted Valentine's attention. Now Al Skinner's coming down. Getting on the conversation. Equal time, they call it.
Now this can be a momentum turner for Boston College. They were down 4. Bell's already made 2 free throws on the tee. And now they're lined up. Here's the play. Bell with the penetration. That's a good call. He comes in underneath him on that. He's not set on that play to take the charge.
But here's where the technical came, as you'll see. Maybe we get Omar Cook as he signals after. No, there's no question that Fordham was sliding in, but now Omar Cook.
Offensive fouls, what he wants, gets a little demonstrative with it, and he picks up a technical for that. The point is you just can't say much to the officials. He picks it up. Tees were shot, and now these are the 2 shots for the foul. With all that delay, that kind of ices Bell is an outstanding free throw to miss the first one. And you don't get the possession after the technical because BC had the ball, so now they're going to play this live.
Troy Bell getting almost all his points from the line. He's 5 of 6 from the free throw line, has 8 for the game. Boston College in this emotional moment now comes out with pressure. And a 10-second call is signaled by Ted Valentine.
Good call. The shot clock was at 24. Starts at 35, so that one just missed getting over. Big momentum swing for BC. Chance to go ahead with this possession.
Troy Bell, the sophomore from Minneapolis. The man who leads the BC Eagles with 51 three-point shots this season. You look at the turnovers in the second half. St. Johns with 4. Here's Harley shooting. Ball might have been tipped from behind. An errant shot, and Omar Cook comes away with the ball.
Thought he had a better look at the 3 that he passed up for that shot.
Omar Cook will launch the 3 if there's any gap at all. He gets space. It's going up.
No question. BC tightening it up right now. They're in the matchup 2-3 zone. Very quick out of it.
Sharif Fordham down with the ball very nicely is Donald Emmanuel, and Shaw looks to cock and fire, but he can't get an open look. Cook goes down. Look at the dish by Cook, and tapped up and in. Sharif Fordham with his first points on a tip-in.
Another nice pass and penetration by Cook. Doesn't get an assist on that one because the layup was missed.
Now it rims out for Kenny Walls. Here comes St. Johns again, leading by 3. Cook tries to dish. There'll be a held ball underneath, and the possession arrow goes to Boston College. So a heated game, and the technical foul signal against guard Omar Cook helps Boston College get closer, but the Red Storms now holding to a 3-point lead. You're watching Big East basketball from ESPN+. As you see, 15:25 to play in the game. With the ball is Troy Bell as he loops it down to Yuka Agbai and screens for Bell. I think they come out of that timeout round with marching orders, get the ball to Bell and let him drive. Very limited chances in this game.
He's been well defended. He's got to look for that outside shot. The penetrating lane is very clogged.
There comes Kenny Harley with a defensive rebound. Troy Bell with only 2 shots from the field in this game. He's made 1. And now Singletary strikes the 3, and the game is tied at 7-all. First points of the night by Singletary tie the game.
Wow, Singletary and Walls. First basket between them, and Bell's been quiet, yet BC tied up in this game. They're fortunate to be right there.
Omar Cook setting his offense, looking for a clear side. And a reach-in foul, and Glover is fouled. That is just the first personal foul on BC as a team here in the second half. So St. Johns at a disadvantage there with 5 team fouls.
Now, they played good defense, but just too aggressive by Agbai. That was Singletary on the last possession. They can use more of that with the three-point bomb.
Ryan Sidney getting set to come in the game for Boston College as Cook fires up a hope. Knocked around, and Donald Emmanuel comes up with the ball.
Now, two BC players thinking each other had it. And Emmanuel just good hustle to get in there.
Sharif Fordham with a great move to the basket. It'll go, and there's a foul called.
Well, that was even more importantly done by Fordham with 4 seconds on the shot clock. The Cook shot never caught the iron, so the 35-second shot clock kept going. Beautiful hesitation move there on Bell. Able to get it to go with a chance for a three-point play.
Harley just got his 3rd personal foul. When these teams met on January 21st, the Red Storm of St. John's prevailed over Boston College 73-71. It looks like it could be that tight a game tonight. It's brick shot, but Fordham comes up with the ball, goes out to Cook. A new shot clock in the Red Storm with a 2-point lead. Willie Shaw freed up. Shaw with his 3rd three of the night. He's hit 75%, 4 tries, 3 hits, and he now has 12 points. Leading scorer in the game, Singletary rims out. Rebound taken down by Fordham. And here comes Omar Cook. And Cook is called for a double dribble violation. And the ball turns back over to Boston College.
You can fumble that ball, but then you got to go pick it up. He continued the dribble, and that's where the double dribble occurred. There's your fumble. There's your dribble. Double dribble, good call.
Beerbaum back in the game now, making his first appearance of the second half. Boston College 16-0 at home this season. Unbelievable. And St. John's with 7 straight wins over BC, including the last 3 they played here. Here's Bell, who's been quiet. All of a sudden, he makes noise. And it's a 2-point game, Red Storm. 11 points now for Bell.
Beautiful ball reversal by Boston College. Put the pressure on. Sidney in the game, they tend to pick it up. A nice job by St. John's to break the pressure going to the middle.
Ball kicked by Sidney, comes inbounds to the Red Storm as they reset the 35-second shot clock on the kick. Omar Cook with a yo-yo dribble. He never has to look at the ball. Head is always up. Looking for somebody open. Willie Shaw is the guy they really got to get on. Sharif Fordham for the basket. Score the basket, and he'll go to the free throw line. So Sharif Fordham, known for defense, is now making some noise offensively. And there's a 4th personal foul signaled on Agbai.
Penetrating move here. Yeah, I got to tell you, it looks to me like Agbai gets plowed into on this play by Fordham. Check him out. You know, I don't think he's leaning in on that play. Don't looks like he's holding his ground, sliding across, and Fordham creates the contact. That's a tough break for BC right there.
And Fordham goes to the free throw line. Sharif Fordham. He has struggled from the free throw line this season, just 42%. But in the last 4 games, he's averaged just under 12 points and almost 11 rebounds as Sharif Fordham.
Well, he's playing well of late. Good, strong move there. I think he got the break. However, this is a very physical game here tonight. Both of these teams physically match up well, and they're really going at it.
7 points and 6 rebounds for Fordham. St. John's challenged. BC tying the game, and now St. John's pulls away by 5. St. John's getting a lot of its points. Down low is Troy Bell, drives to the basket and gets the roll. He now has 13 points, and it's back to a 3-point game.
Well, he can score points in bunches. Had just 3 at the half. He's starting to really pick it up for the Eagles, and here's the pressure.
Body check down low by Xavier Singletary, and that'll be a personal foul on him. And ball will be inbounded by St. John's. The more I watch this college game with the speed of these defenders, Ron, I'm convinced you can't dribble through these presses. You got to throw it over the top of them. We'll be back in a moment with Boston College trailing by 3. You're watching Big East basketball from ESPN+. First to worst has been the happy story of BC basketball this season. And now the BC Eagles challenged on their home floor by a team that's beaten them 7 straight times. St. John's with a very emotional effort tonight. The Red Storm has been in a tailspin. They've been losing 6 of their last 9.
Now Bell is stepping up in the second half, but Singletary and Harley, a couple of the big scorers on the team, down so far. A lot of time left in this one, but St. John's playing with a lot of confidence here tonight.
Anthony Glover puts it back up, and Glover gets it down.
Oh, what a great fake by Glover, huh?
This guy, I tell you, every game, everything he gets is through hard work. He gets it the old-fashioned way. Here's a long ball and a strike. A bomb by Kenny Walls, and that brings the Eagles. With Walls' first points of the night, brings them back to within 2.
Well, with Walls and Sidney out there, some tough, quick defenders for Boston College.
And as Willie Shaw tries to get the ball on a bounce lead down low to Glover. They lose the handle, and it comes back to the Eagles.
Check out this last play by Glover. He gets it down low. 2 BC defenders. Watch the fake. Oh, he sells it. Watch the BC defense thinking it's going. Beautiful job right there as he finishes it off.
BC pressure has forced a 15 St. John's turnover so far in the game.
I think you're right, Don. This has the feel to it like it's going to just keep playing this way down the stretch.
Ryan Sidney with a reverse move off the baseline. They list him at 6'2", but he goes way up. And he's come off the bench to score 10 now for Boston College. And the Eagles again tie the game.
Always seems to give BC a lift when he comes in.
Steal by Beerbaum. Another turnover. Bell lead the Walls. Too much on it. And a rebound taken by the guard Shaw. The 6'6" shooting guard goes way up.
Big opportunity there. Bell did everything right. Walls has got to just lay that up softly, and the house gets into it big time if he gets that one to go.
See the turnover count in the second half. St. John's with 8 and Boston College with only 1. But the Red Storm in position to take back the lead in this tie game.
Cook's made some great passes in this game, but at times he's tried to force the issue with some of his passes.
Fordham knocked down below. The shot clock ran out. Mike Jarvis up looking for a foul, but none forthcoming.
Well, it's been a lot of contact out here tonight. The one thing I would say is that we've got consistency, that the game has been, the players have been allowed to play from the get-go. However, there has been a lot of bumping and banging.
St. John's with real turnover troubles though here in the second half. They have turned it over now 3 times in their last 3 possessions. 17 turnovers for the game for St. John's. A tie game. Ryan Sidney feeling it, goes to the basket, and he's fouled.
Now, you like the way Sidney plays. He picks off Shaw on the screen and then just doesn't slow down. He's always trying to create something when he's on the floor. And he's become more offensive-minded as the season's gone along. Saying that was on the floor, Don, so just BC ball.
Red Storm with 6 team fouls now. Eagles with 4, and the timeout is signaled. Al Skinner wants to talk to his team as down to 9:47 left to play in the game.
Well, the turnover story in this game has been big for St. John's in the second game and second half, and it's been Boston College turning up the heat. You can see a couple of these passes just not working out. Pretty good look by Cook on that one. Low, though, on the delivery, trying to make something happen at times before you get it. There's some of these forced turnovers, and some of these have really been unforced errors by St. John's, but that has been keeping BC right in this game.
BC with an advantage of +8 on turnovers. They've only turned it over 9 times, and their counterparts, the Red Storm, is turning it over 17 times so far.
Let's help BC this year. They're not a very big dominant team inside, but they are good handling the ball. For St. John's, athletic, talented, but younger than BC, and as a result, you're going to see more turnovers happening at their end of the floor.
Well, as you talk about not being a big team, BC's biggest guy is Yuka Agbai at 6'8". He's on the bench with 4 fouls right now.
Well, and Harley leads him with the 6 rebounding number of games. So you've got a team that just collectively gets it done, and they do it very well as a unit.
Bell and Sidney both have a tremendous ability to go to the basket as Ryan Sidney rockets in a 7-0 run now, and the Eagles have taken the lead 49-47.
Wow, you just can't say enough about Sidney. He gets up, and that time goes to his left. Not playing like a freshman. He's playing with a lot of confidence.
Well, he averages just under 10 points a game. He has 12 tonight. Almost another turnover. There is one.
No question about that with Jesse.
Roy Bell fouled on the play. That's 17 fouls on St. John's. And Ryan Sidney, the freshman from Minneapolis, goes to the free throw line. St. John's just not getting any shots or turning it over too much. Last 4 trips, 4 turnovers.
Check out that last move by Sidney. Just a beauty with the left hand. He's hit several runners. That one going to the left. And Mike Jarvis hoping right now that his team can just keep their poise out there. At the moment, they're getting flustered with the basketball. Lane violation.
Yeah, even if it went in, it was going to be waved off as Beerbaum was in the lane early, they said. So the ball comes back inbounds to St. John's. Red Storm down by 2. Cook puts it up and gets a friendly roll at County Forum and looks to the official for a shooting foul. He now has 10, and the game is tied at 49.
Now, Cook and Shaw, the 2 double-figure scorers for St. John's, are playing a very solid game. This is a good one here tonight at Conti.
Going hard inside and drawing a shooting foul is senior Xavier Singletary, a transfer from Howard University, who has been a big contributor in this big season for Boston College. Willie Shaw gets the foul. He now has 3. Singletary at the free throw line. Just 3 points so far in the game. He's 1 of 8 shooting the ball.
He's off tonight. He's averaging a dozen a game on the season. 65%, although 72% free throw shooter in Big East play. Boston College has made more free throws in this game than St. John's has attempted. 12 to 11. Singletary, a guy that can pick it up and out here.
But BC just 6 of 15 from the free throw line. St. John's has shot only 8 free throws and has made 4. Or excuse me, they've shot 11, have made 5. They're 4 of 8 from three-point range. Drive by Cook, rebound by Sharif Fordham, rejected by Beerbaum. Slapped up court, a breakaway to Ryan Sidney.
Wow, that's highlight material. That's the Beerbaum stuff. Leading to the Sidney jam. The bench coming through for the Eagles right now.
And believe it or not, this is the biggest lead of the game for Boston College. 8,600 strong here at the County Forum, really into it. St. John's badly in need of a hit on this trip. Willie Shaw, the Glover. There's Shaw. Shot clock violation. The shot clock ran out, and the ball again turns over to Boston College. St. John's now with 19 turnovers. 11 in this half. We'll be back to the County Forum in a moment.
See your authorized BMW Center for lease and finance options.
It's here, waiting for you. Inside is unlimited strength and power. It builds confidence and reshapes your body. It can change everything. This is Bowflex, an entire gym in one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance, all in the convenience of your own home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Bowflex is real. The results are real. The question is, are you ready for Bowflex? For a free video and brochure, call or go online at bowflexdirect.com. Do the research, listen to real customers, then place your order online and get started. Bowflex. Who said change isn't easy?
Back to Boston College. Jonathan Bierbaum ignited his team and really ignited this crowd with this reject.
Great job by Bierbaum. Great save by Kenny Walls. And then forget about it. Mr. Sidney, he's quickly becoming a big fan favorite here. Bierbaum off the bench, senior night. He set that play up with the rejection.
A 3-point game. Eagles in the lead. Their biggest advantage of the night. They led early, 3-2. And then St. John's led most of the first half. The Eagles did get a 1-point lead later in the first half, but St. John's took a 5-point advantage at halftime. And now the Boston College Eagles with the ball in the 3-point lead. Troy Bell had 23 against St. John's in the loss earlier this season. Look at the rebound picked off by the freshman Cuff.
Nice job by Cuff. He is a good young player. Cuff a freshman, Omar Cook a freshman, Willie Shaw a freshman. This is a young St. John's team that's going to make a lot of noise over the next couple of years. These guys can flat out play.
And as mentioned, in this season where St. John's is struggling, they do have a 15-game winning streak at Madison Square Garden. Side of the upcoming Big East Championship, 15-game winning streak against Big East opponents. Cook, and Cook puts it back.
Off both ends of the floor. On the rebound, comes back. Big offensive putback, and St. John's hanging right in there in this game. And they've gone to a 1-3-1 zone with Glover up top.
Up now has 8. Too much on it. Fight for the rebound. Bell with a beautiful move to the basket. A 6'1" guard. And he lays it in. He now has 15 points after a slow start in this game. 6:20 to go. PC, Ronnie, doing a very good job extending their defense. They're not getting the 3-point looks at more St. John's.
No, they really aren't. This game now is all about, with 6 to go, all about defense, making stops at the defensive end, and taking good care of the basketball. You can't afford the turnovers.
Lee Ford working hard inside. And Willie Shaw, he's going to shoot. Nope. Doesn't have time. He's looking to get the 3. And
Yes.
5. 8th assist in this game for Omar Cook, a guy who averages 8.3 as Glover gets the bucket.
What a dish is right. You got to have your hands ready when you're around Cook.
Yep. Hands up and eyes on the ball. Ryan Sidney, here comes Cook. He'll be wise to slow it up as the Eagles have 3 back to defend. Down low to Cuff. Put back, and St. John's has rallied back and has taken the lead. What a game.
It really is. They hadn't had much success in this half, pushing the ball up the floor. And there's a transition basket, their first one of the second half, as they get down the floor quickly. So they are right in this game.
Walls. The Singletary. Shaw defending. Walls gets an open look, and he bombs. And the lead changes hands. The Eagles take a 2-point advantage.
Now this is Boston College right now at its best with Walls, Singletary, Bell, Sidney. They're all balancing the act out there.
Crowd really into this game. It's certainly a factor working for the Eagles. Shaw to Glover. Doubling up on him. Glover puts it up. And the rebound is ripped down by Walls.
I'll say. Then he cradles it in traffic.
Open look for Singletary. Too much on it. Sharif Fordham rebounds and gives the ball to his quarterback, the freshman Omar Cook. He now takes it to another level, brings the pace of the game down as they set their offense.
A lot of quickness, athleticism on the part of both teams. They are going at each other full barrels here tonight.
Willie Shaw fires. Too much at it. He's been hot from the arc, but not that one. Troy Bell always looking for that gap. Go quick to the basket. Singletary dishes. And a foul on St. Johns. Stops the clock with 3:47 left to play. Sharif Fordham, the defensive specialist for the Red Storm, has now picked up his fourth personal foul. So Mike Jarvis with a concern there, and he's bringing Glover out of the game now, leaving Sharif Fordham in as Ryan Sidney goes to the free throw line. Sidney coming off the bench. 14 points tonight, 6 of 11 from the field. He's missed both his free throws.
Don, you got to give St. John's a lot of credit for the intensity level they've brought to the game here tonight. Senior night at Boston College. BC comes into the game.
Excuse me, is 2 of 3 from the free throw line.
Playing great basketball with 21 victories, and they've just played a very tough game. But BC right there is a terrific college basketball game.
It is that. Missing front ends is expensive. There's a chance to get 2 points. He usually leaves the ball. Now a rejected Cook, and here comes Sidney. Over to Beerbaum, back to Sidney. And Ryan Sidney will go to the free throw line.
The thing you got to love about Sidney on that play, tries to alley-oop it to Beerbaum, which happens quite a bit during the course of the year, but when it doesn't go, he doesn't assume it's going to happen. Can't quite get it to go. It's very close, but he's right back on the play. Seems to be always around the basketball.
Sidney at the free throw line, now 2 of 5 from the line.
Going to take his time more from the line, Don. He gets it and releases it quickly. That time more patient.
Gets his own rebound though, puts it back, and finally St. John's gets the ball. Kyle Cuff gets it, and he's hacked on the arm by Harley. That is only the 15th foul against Boston College here in the second half. St. John's foul total is already up to 10. St. John's working hard to get good looks, but they're not forthcoming against this BC defense. In the basket is Anthony Glover as action resumes, and Anthony Glover ties the game. He scored 14. St. John's getting some shots now after they stopped turning it over. They had turned the ball over 11 times in the second half. Now they settle in. Here's Glover forcing a steal. And they say Glover got Jonathan Beerbaum on the arm. It's time now for the Beckspear game summary. There it is, Ron. 19 TOs, turnovers, not timeouts, and Cook up to 8 assists. But look at the bench points.
Yeah, Boston College, 14 of those coming from Ryan Sidney, and Troy Bell has stepped it up. Just 3 at the half, so he's stepping it up. Walls and Singletary starting to do some more damage, but it's still a great ball game. It seems every time BC starts to surge, St. John's right there with the answer.
Ryan Sidney back in the game now. Kenny Harley goes out as Beerbaum at the free throw line, a senior from Fairbury, Nebraska, who said this team really came together. He felt on the European road trip in August when they went to France and Switzerland, spent a lot of hours on buses together. Everybody got to know each other better, got to know the freshmen, and they didn't like losing. They talked about losing and what's going to take to win. Whatever that elixir is, they found it maybe in a spa in Switzerland, because they came back with it.
Well, they came back and get off to a great start, 11-0, and they continue to play well. Nice up fake that time by Fordham.
Sharif Fordham has led St. John's in rebounding in 8 of the last 9 games, including tonight. Sharif Fordham with 9 rebounds tonight. And Uka Egbar's got to say goodnight with 2:40 to play. 5th foul.
Well, we talk about the importance of his presence tonight. An example of a game where he was plagued with fouls as he fouls out of this one, and as a result, much more of a struggle inside for Boston College with him out of the game. Only had a couple of rebounds in this game, but he was in and out, never got into the flow of this ball game.
Villanova and Miami on their home floors. Both victors and Big East play tonight. As Fordham goes to the free throw line, Sharif Fordham 1 for 2 from the free throw line. 7 points for the game, but more importantly 9 rebounds. He's the leading rebounder in the game, not just for St. John's. Ties the game.
Bagby played just 7 minutes in the first half. Dawn. He was in and out in the second half, so he never really made his presence felt. And they need the big fella because St. John's has had some good second and third efforts by people like Sharif Fordham tonight.
Fordham has really been coming on. And now he finds the range from the free throw line. And the Red Storm has taken back the lead.
Yeah. Back and forth. Now with 2:30 to go, this one's going down to the wire. Every possession critical. Now this is crunch time.
Roy Bell with that great crossover dribble that Omar Cook, quick on quick, matches him and shuts him off.
Just not allowing penetration. Doing a good job.
A dish to Beerbaum. Beautifully done by Troy Bell. He sets the table for his forward, who slams it down and gives the Eagles a 1-point lead.
That's a big-time play by Bell. The finish by Beerbaum, but Bell made it happen.
St. John's with a 7-game winning streak over Boston College, including 3 straight here. And here comes Bell. Another St. John's turnover. The 20th of the game. And now sharpshooter Willie Shaw is done as he gets his 5th foul.
Beautiful dish. That's the one on the last play by Bell. We talked about Beerbaum. He's got great leaping ability, but you draw the defense like that. Cuff has to help out, leave Beerbaum alone, and that's a big-time play and finish.
While Willie Shaw was in there tonight for the Red Storm, he scored 12 points. He took down 6 rebounds. But he is their premier 3-point shooter. He has set a school record as a freshman, hanging in 64 3-pointers this season to eclipse the mark of Felipe Lopez, who hit 61 years. 98.
Good looking young player, Don. I mean, there's a lot of talk about Cook, but Shaw very quietly has turned in an excellent season as well.
And Shaw's big. He's 6'6", a 2-guard, shooting guard. St. John's with 9 assists credited to them as a team. And they've turned the ball over 20 times, which is not an unusual number against this BC defense, which averages force of over 19 turnovers a game.
Troy Bell, the man that Boston College wants at the line late. 5 out of 6 in the game. He's an outstanding free throw shooter.
86% for the season. Troy Bell has gotten three 3-pointers off, and he's made 2. He's the #1 3-point shooter for the BC Eagles.
Not only does he have a good percentage and rhythm, he takes a ton of free throws, Don. He draws a lot of fouls.
Now a 3-point lead for the Eagles as the Boston College following exhorts them to take back the ball, force another turnover if they can.
Don't need to panic here and go for a 3. A lot of time left in this game. Get a good look. Important that St. John's just gets a good look at the hoop here.
Glover takes a step to the basket. Beautifully done by Anthony Glover. He now has 16 points.
Still plenty of time. 1:20.
1-point game Eagles, and BC has the ball.
Every time BC is fouled, it's 2 shots from the line. BC still just 5 team fouls in the second half, so not even in the bonus at the other end is St. John's.
There's no question in the end the line could decide it. Down low to Bell. He fires something up, and he is fouled. He's all right. Going to bounce up. A good foul, though, by the defense because he had a sure shot. He'll have to get him from the line now.
That was a great pass. A backdoor cut by Bell. Looked like he might have been able to catch and shoot while in midair, but he came down with it and came close to walking on that pump fake.
Here we go.
55 seconds to play, maybe more, at Boston College. Troy Bell, the sensational sophomore scorer at the free throw line. He has now scored 18 points for Boston College as the Eagles have a 2-point lead over St. John's. Boston College 16-0 at home this season, undefeated. And St. Johns, though, has beaten Boston College the last 7 times they've played, including 3 in a row. And St. Johns winning an earlier game by 2 points. Now Bell hitting the free throws. And the Eagles have a 3-point lead. St. Johns with the ball.
Great finish to this one. Troy Bell coming up big for Boston College. Every possession critical. St. Johns needs another good look here. They went Glover last time. He's experienced.
Glover, no foul. Bangura is open. Doesn't go. Back for the rebound. It comes over to Ryan Sidney with 34 seconds left. And I'm going to rule now the ball tipped was knocked down on the baseline of the court, sideline, and it will come back inbounds to Boston College. So the Eagles got, here's Mike Jarvis on the floor. We've had 1 technical, not on Mike, on his point guard, Omar Cook, who signaled a charging foul, gave the hand behind the head signal. But it was a foul on St. Johns, and the official called a technical foul on Omar Cook. That was earlier.
Well, Mike Jarvis wants an up and down, I think, on Sidney as he passed it. Look at the battle for the rebound. Beer bomb all over it. Here's Sidney, goes up, gets rid of it in the official's opinion just before he comes down. Passing the ball, gives the ball to BC, and then the timeout. I think it was a good call.
Timeout. Well, the clock is stopped with 32 seconds left on the shot clock. Just 33 seconds on the game clock. See the timeout picture, the free throw line. Boston College has missed 10 free throws. They've hit 18 of 28 tonight. St. Johns has only been to the line 13 tries. They've made 7 of 13. So an 11-point advantage for BC at the free throw line.
Now, it's been a tough battle all the way. It's going to be Boston College basketball. The ruling there is that Sidney got rid of it, which I think he did before he hit the ground. It may have been an inadvertent whistle. I'm not sure why the whistle blew, but in any event, BC ball.
Ryan Sidney is quickly fouled by Fordham. That's it for Sharif Fordham, who's played a very strong game, 9 points, 9 rebounds, but he's out.
Boston College would have loved to have gotten that ball to Bell, who's been automatic from the line, as well as Sidney's play. That was a good man to foul by St. Johns, as Sidney has struggled from the foul line. And the only area he struggled in, he's got 14 points, but just 2 of 6 from the stripe.
And BC, as you know, Ron, with the remarkable turnabout this season. Last year, last in the Big East, 3-13 in the conference. With a win tonight, Boston College will be 12-3 in the conference. Could close out with an absolute exact reversal of their record of a year ago, being the first Big East team to go from last to first in the conference in a single year. In the previous 2 seasons, Boston College was horrendous in the Big East, lost 28 of 34 games. So Al Skinner, a leading candidate for Coach of the Year as you look at the Big East standings. Boston College with the best record in the conference. Updated tonight, the Villanova Wildcats winning a game tonight. They beat Seton Hall. Miami also winning over West Virginia. Al Skinner and the BC Eagles will have to take a look at West Virginia in Morgantown. That's where they go next.
Al Skinner's done a great job with this team. He's low-key and focused, but a real competitor as his team has turned around. And again, good foul. Sidney, the dynamite freshman for Boston College, has struggled from the stripe, and it's still a 1-possession game. This is a big free throw.
4-point game, St. Johns, still with 32 seconds left. This is St. John's biggest lead. By Boston College's biggest lead. 4-point advantage. Cook fires. Rings out. Rebound knocked around. The freshman Kyle Cuff is fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. St. John's led early by a point, trailed by 5 at the half, and now St. John's finds themselves down by 4. BC with a real struggle here in the second half, but they've moved out by 4.
This is where BC misses the presence of Yuka Agbai. He's 6'8", he's strong. St. John's with some second and third chances right now. You've got to give him credit. There's Agbai on the bench, always into the game, trying to get the crowd involved. But right now, St. John's is just showing a lot of determination to hang tough in this game.
Kyle Cuff with 8 points and 6 rebounds. Bricks the first one. Cuff is a 72% free throw shooter. That one looked like one of mine, no run.
Released that one a little hard. Important to get this one for St. John's to get it back to one possession.
St. John's now 8 of 15 from the free throw line. Eagles lead 65-62.
Now BC will work hard to see if they can get it to Bell and Harley, who are up here. And St. John's will probably reach in pretty quickly. The shot clock is off right now with just 20 seconds left.
St. John's fouls quickly. Boston College's defense, a tremendous factor in the game, forcing 20 St. John's turnovers, 12 in the second half. And Boston College has turned the ball in this game over just 10 times.
That's a big story, and Bell's a big story too, as Cook picks up his fourth. What a great matchup that's been tonight. Cook and Bell. Bell with 3 at the half. We said he had to step it up in the second half, and he has done that. He's made 9 free throws in the game. And if you look down all of a sudden, Don, he's got 19 points in a game where he has only taken 6 shots from the field.
We're coming to you from the County Forum, Boston College. Don Criqui with Ron Perry. Boston College with a 16-0 record at home this year. But St. John's having trouble at the free throw line. Only 8 points from the line tonight. Boston College has put in 19 free throws.
Big differential. This is a big one right here.
Another 4-point lead. 20 points now for Troy Bell.
St. John's needs one and then use the timeout if they can get it to go.
And a foul is called on Kenny Harley of Boston College. And that'll stop the clock with 13.7 seconds left to go. As right now we take a look at the BMW ultimate drive of the game.
Omar Cook with some great penetrations in this game, and he's one of our favorites right here for the BMW drive. The nice penetration, stop and go. And that's a great move with the hesitation and the finish off the glass.
Cook with 10 points and 8 assists. He is the leading assist man in the country. And now the ball is stripped away and taken back by Harley, and he is quickly fouled by Cook. And it appears that Mike Jarvis's Red Storm will see their 7-game win streak over Boston College end tonight, as this remarkable season of the BC Eagles will bring them to a 17-0 home court record and an overall record of 22-4 with 1 game to play at West Virginia on Saturday night.
Cook played an outstanding floor game tonight. He dished. He did make a few passes that weren't caught that he did throw away, but very, very good game. That was critical right there that he get those free throws to go. And BC with a chance to put this one away up 4, in what just continues to be a remarkable ride for the Eagles this year.
And then the Big East Championship coming up starting Wednesday, March 7th at Madison Square Garden. And everybody has to beware of St. John's in that, because the Red Storm has won 15 straight games against Big East Conference opponents at the Garden in the regular season.
Now they're very dangerous there. They've been very dangerous here tonight at Conti Forum.
Get out of there.
BC just doesn't seem to want to quite put it away from the foul line. They're just making 1 of 2. And with 10 seconds to go, St. John's will have to come down and take a quick 3-point shot, down 4, make it 5.
There are no 5-point plays, and this is the biggest lead for the Eagles, 67-62, as Coach Al Skinner calls a 20-second timeout just to be sure whatever defense he's going to employ, probably just stand back and watch.
Well, he's going to play some tough D. He's telling his kids don't foul out there, box out, and put this game away.
Only 4 losses for Boston College. At St. John's on January 10th by 2. At Duke. At UConn by 11. And at Notre Dame, a 1-point loss when Martin Inglesby hit a last-second shot, or close to a last-second shot.
Trying to keep this game away from the basket.
First time against St. John's, Don, at the Garden. Omar Cook delivering the game winner. 3-point shot, and Martin Inglesby for Notre Dame, a very tough runner for the 1-point victory against the Irish of Notre Dame, and he enjoys it. But that's the closest for BC of their losses, and they've only lost 4 all year.
St. John's in real tournament trouble after this loss. They will be 14-13 on the year. They'll be 8-7 in the conference. But they are always a threat to win the Big East Championship at the Garden.
Well, they're going to have to at this point. to get the automatic bid to the NCAA. But certainly a talented team. There'd be an NIT look out there, but they'll have to run the table when they get to New York.
Troy Bell talking about Boston College said we're not playing to win conference. We're playing to get to the Final Four. And right now, the West Division shows Notre Dame in the lead. The Irish have won the conference. They only have a first-round bye. Top two in each division get first-round byes in the Big East Championship. Rutgers contending with Seton Hall. Rutgers a breath of life tonight as they watch. Seton Hall loses again. They're now 4-12 in the conference. A team that was ranked in the top 10, as you know, Rod, for 5 weeks early in the season.
They were playing great basketball with Eddie Griffin and company, but they really fell out of sync. The team chemistry fell off, and they've struggled.
Fire away. Anthony Glover. There's not much time, and they turn it over. Almost hitting it. A turnover seals the game. If not, in fact, it was sealed long ago. And Boston College, on the 21st turnover of the game by St. John's, takes over the ball and slams the door on this game, winning it 67-62. So Boston College, in this dramatic turnabout, goes to 22-4 on the season, goes to 12-3 in the Big East.
Outstanding. It was a tough game. St. John's giving BC everything it could handle tonight, but BC able to get on a good run in the second half, get the job done, turn St. John's over, and hold on for a big victory at home.
And that is there's one of the critical moments, the technical foul call. It certainly cost St. John's. But St. John's, with a 7-game winning streak coming to an end over Boston College tonight. Mike Jarvis's team contending hard all game long, but in the end, this tremendous Boston College team, number 10 in America, pulls it out 67-62. Now for Ron Perry, this is Don Crickey. This has been a presentation of ESPN Plus, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports television.